Beginning our list of the top stories in Omaha and Nebraska is the renaming of the CenturyLink Center. On September 1st, the building was officially renamed to the CHI Health Center of Omaha. CHI paid a total of $23.6 million to have naming rights to the building for the next 20-year term. This is the third time the event center has been renamed since opening as the Quest Center back in 2003. In fourth place, we have the visit of President Trump to the Metro. On October 9th, the president made a stop at the Mid-America Center just across the river in Council Bluffs. He spoke about many things, including the economy and the upcoming midterm elections. Tickets to the event went quick, but there were also many protests just outside the area. Moving up the list to third is the Taste of Omaha shooting that took place in the Old Market. Year-round, kids and their families gather around Taste of Omaha and Old Market to spend time together and have fun. But sadly, this summer night was different. A shooting occurred that killed one and injured at least 6. Just missing our top spot is the success that local boxer Terrence Bud Crawford saw throughout the year. On October 13th, Crawford extended his record to 34 wins and 0 losses after defeating Jose Benavidez Jr. at the CHI Health Center. Winning this match allowed him to maintain his WBO welterweight title. Topping our countdown to the biggest stories coming out of our state is a historic start to the Huskers 2018 season. After hiring Scott Frost, many fans expected a quick turnaround for our program. However, that wasn't the case. After started 0-6, the Huskers officially had the worst start in program history. However, with close games against Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa, the future is looking much brighter than it did in the start of the season.
Coming in at 5th place for the biggest celebrity and entertainment news is all of the famous homes destroyed by the California wildfires. After the fire moved near Malibu, many celebrities lost their homes, including Caitlyn Jenner, Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, and Kim Kardashian. Moving into 4th place is the 2018 performances at the annual music festival known as Coachella. What made this year's concert memorable was a huge performance by Beyoncé and the surprise reunion of the 90s group Destiny's Child. The concert was so big that many people simply refer to the festival as Beachella. Next on our list is a Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande engagement/breakup. Pete Davidson, who is known for being a cast member on Saturday Night Live, had dated Ariana Grande for the past 2 years. The couple became engaged in June, but 6 months later called things off. Things became very public with a lot of tweeting back and forth and statements by both individuals. Just missing the top spot was a beef between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. The feud began at a fashion show in New York when insults were thrown at each other. Things escalated when Cardi B threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj. Since then, the two have made their dislike for each other very clear through all sorts of social media posts. However, on October 30th, it appears the two may have called a truce. Finding its way to the top spot of our list is a royal wedding of Prince Harry and American Meghan Markle. With over 23 million Americans watching the wedding and a global audience in the hundreds of millions, this event on May 19th was one that was talked about all year. The two were married in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle in the UK.
"2018 was a big year for sports. Starting our list for the biggest stories is the surprising start of the Husker football season. This started out with a very rare weather delay causing a cancellation to the Akron game. From there, it only got more bizarre for the first-year head coach Scott Frost. After losing 6 games in a row, we officially had the worst start in program history. However, things started to look up towards the end of the season with impressive wins and close losses to the top-ranked teams. Moving down our list at number 4 is the U.S. Supreme Court legalization of sports gambling. On May 14th, the Supreme Court voted 6-3 to allow states to allow sports betting. This reversed the 1992 federal law that prohibited most states from authorizing the activity. This has been met with enthusiasm from some and pushback from others. Moving closer to the top, At third place is when the University of Maryland at Baltimore Country upset the number 1 seed Virginia in the NCAA tournament. The 74-54 victory by the Retrievers busted nearly everyone's bracket and has never been done in tournament history. Unfortunately, the UMBC, the Cinderella story, would not be completed as they will lose later on in the tournament. Just missing the top spot, biggest news story is LeBron James saying goodbye to the Cleveland Cavaliers. On July 9th, LeBron officially signed to the LA Lakers for a 4-year, $153 million deal. The deal was disappointing to the fans of Cleveland, but few expected him to remain in the city after struggling to win a championship against the Golden State Warriors in recent years. Wrapping up our list, the biggest stories of 2018 is a sad one. From the world of hockey. On April 16th, the Homebot Broncos, which is a junior hockey team from Canada, was traveling to a game when tragedy struck. After colliding with a semi-trailer, 16 members of the team lost their lives. Fans around the world showed up in their support with donations, memorials, and moments of silence.
2018 was a big year for Hollywood with lots of different movies coming out. One big one for broadcast was The Hate U Give. This movie was released on October 5th and explored a complex relationship that forms when a student that lives in a poor black community while attending a wealthy prep high school. This movie was based on a very popular novel by Angie Thomas that many students have read. Next on our list is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The movie was released on June 22nd and is the 6th installment to the Jurassic Park franchise. This movie once again stars Chris Pratt and places the characters in a race against time to save Blue and other dinosaurs from an erupting volcano. Coming in at number 3 is a much anticipated movie, The Incredibles 2. This movie was released on 14 years after the original date and it saw a huge success. This movie picks up right where it left off, and this time features Elastigirl in the lead role, leaving her husband, Mr. Incredible, at home to take care of their children, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. Just missing the top spot is Avengers Infinity War. This movie was released on April 27th and tells the story of how the Avengers must sacrifice everything in order to defeat Thanos before he destroys the world. The movie was the highest grossing film of the year and actually the first superhero movie to gross over $2 billion worldwide. Finding its way to our top spot is Black Panther. This movie came out on February 16th and was all anyone could talk about. Black Panther earned a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes and focuses on T'Challa, who is the king of a hidden country named Wakanda.
In our list of the top stories in technology and science of 2018 is the success of Apple. On August 2nd, Apple officially became worth $1 trillion. This is the first time in history a tech company has reached this staggering amount. Fourth place goes to a big setback in the world of self-driving cars. On March 18th, Elaine Herzberg was tragically killed by a self-driving Uber when crossing the street. This is the first fatal accident in self-driving cars, causing many to question the safety of this technology. Moving up the list to number 3 is the launch of Falcon Heavy by SpaceX. On February 6th, Elon Musk launched the biggest and most powerful operational rocket in the world. Being about to carry a total of 64 tons means big things for the future of space travel. Missing the top spot in second place is a nationwide presidential text message. On October 2nd, the president tested out a new technology that connected him to the entire country. The system is meant to serve as an emergency alert system in the event of natural disaster or terrorism. Coming in first place for the biggest tech and science stories goes to the breach in Facebook security. On March 17th, it was announced that Cambridge Analytica collected information from nearly 87 million Facebook users' personal data. They used the information for political purposes, causing many question the ethics behind the social media giant.
Starting a list of the biggest memes of the year is the no meme. This meme is very memorable and extremely chaotic, with a few horrible lines like, "I'm not a gnelf and I'm not a gnoblin." Before anyone else can say it, I'm a gnome and you've been gnomed. Imagine that, using a TV broadcast to gnome your whole school. Coming in on number 4 is the Pikachu meme. Memes like this are what your teachers are going to have in their classrooms in a few years. The original picture came from the Pokemon show, but recently resurfaced when the live-action trailer for Detective Pikachu came out. Moving into number 3 on this list is the Sprite Cranberry meme. This came from a commercial made by Sprite. The commercial starred LeBron James singing a parody song with lyrics like, "It's the thirstiest time of the year," and "Want a Sprite Cranberry?" Not much good has come out of this meme, but if you feel like it, watch the commercial and have a Sprite Cranberry. Just missing the top spot, Dusty. This year, TwitchCon was held October 26th through 28th. Most of these people make their living from behind a computer screen, so their people skills aren't the best, and that becomes evident when Dusty was asked the question, "How do you think of yourself?" And with a response like, "I think of myself as above the average person," you aren't going to be the most popular family-friendly Twitch channel anymore. Number 1 on our list is TikTok. TikTok came a little bit after Musical.ly shut down, and it's now one of the most popular apps of all time. Most of the content on this app is a little cringy and pretty embarrassing, so that is why lots of popular YouTubers such as PewDiePie have made videos on the app. If you aren't too caught up on the internet, you probably still know 1 or 2 things about the app, such as lyrics like "hit or miss" or "it's muffin time." This is possibly one of the most hated memes, and that's why it has to be number 1 on the list.
Netflix is a big part of many of our students' life. Beginning our list of the biggest shows coming from Netflix is Stranger Things Season 2. After crushing the ratings and earning numerous awards, this popular show came back this year for Season 2. Once again, it features kids in the 80s who are forced to fight monsters in a land known as the Upside Down. Moving up our list in 4th place is the 2nd season of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. This show was originally a book series and was adapted by Netflix back in 2017. This year, Season 2 was released and tells the story of 3 orphans from England. It stars Neil Patrick Harris and other big-name celebrities. In 3rd place is 13 Reasons Why, Season 2. This show is the 2nd season of a very controversial show that took the world by storm last year. In this season, the show explores the court case that follows the death of Hannah Baker. Just missing our top spot in 2nd is On My Block. This show's first episode was released on March 16th. And features a rough inner-city LA neighborhood where 4 teens find that their lifelong friendships are tested as they start high school. Critics loved the show, giving it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and an average of 9.3 out of 10 average ratings. In our top spot, we had The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. This is a darker version of the 90s show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This series explores Sabrina, who is half mortal and half witch, but mostly just a typical teenage dealing with dating, school, friends, and more.